What happens when you stick a brand new RTX 3070 with a 6-year-old i7-5775C 65-watt processor? Let's go. AAA games first. Dirt 5, ultra high settings, 1440p, and we are native final resolution. So the whole aim is if you're going to buy something like a 3070, you're going to want it at high res. So 1440p high refresh monitor like I've got. So can you just ignore the rest of your PC and still have a good experience? So this is the Game Pass version of Dirt 5. This is a good stress. And you can see it's over 75 FPS, and this is at 1440p. We've got dynamic res scaling on, which I think you should have, because that's what makes sense. I don't give a crap about it being the pixel perfect benchmark. It's all about how it actually plays. So once you get over this bit that we've just gone through, it seems this level gets a lot lighter for some reason. And it's nothing to do with me being at the front, like you could be at the back at this point. And yeah, over 100, well, about 100 FPS, dropping into the 80s, but well above the 60 that you get on console, and at a higher detail level as well. As you can see, mud's going everywhere, got particle effects, big draw distance with Sugarloaf Mountain in the background. I'm still at 95 FPS. The CPU is not actually being the bottleneck here, it's only running about 50 to 60%, which is quite surprising. This i7-5775C, let's call it the i7 for now, is 4-core 8-thread. So it's not really been pushed here. The 3070 is actually more right up there, 95%. It's basically maxed out, really. This system's also got 16 gig of RAM, so that's not an issue. It's actually only DDR3 as well. Now this level is great because it changes the time of day really quickly, as you can see. So, as I mentioned earlier, this part of the track doesn't matter where you are. So here we've got lights on, and they react to the cars. As you can see, there's a car behind that's lighting up this F-150. And yeah, it's similar frame rates to what it was before, and this is with the darkness and all the cars, all the particle effects from the mud, my shitty driving, and it's still getting 80 FPS even with my shitty driving. Smashing into people, smashing into scenery, smashing into that godforsaken Aston Martin SUV. Not even the ugliness of the Aston Martin DBX can drop the frame rate. And another thing to note is this video is being recorded by the same system, so it would actually play better at higher frame rate than what it is doing that you're seeing right now. And that's the same for all games on this video. It's not going to be like dramatically higher or anything, but you might get about another 5 frames per second, which could be the difference between 60 and not. This game's really fun, by the way. It's good variety for a racing game. It's not quite Forza Horizon 4 level fun, but yeah, it's definitely good. Not a little bit of jerkiness isn't actually in the game normally. It really does look great on 40p monitor, or if you plug it into a TV. I wouldn't run it at 4K. I'll just run it at 1440p to be honest. But then again, I wouldn't run it at ultra high detail either. I'll just run it at high. It doesn't look any different really. Maybe in another video I'll do a 120 FPS test. Okay, the big one, Cyberpunk 2077. So 1440p native. Well, medium and high settings, a few low. This is based off the Digital Foundry optimized settings. So you've got low for ambient occlusion and SSR. DLSS is quality mode, and we've got ray tracing on for everything. And yeah, this is obviously not 60 FPS, but big caveat here, that is because we are recording natively off the device while playing, and as you can see, the CPU is pretty much around the 90s, very high 80s when we're lucky, but as soon as you start to do anything, yeah, it's right up there.
What's up?
Nothing is up. Shut up. As you can see, all the lights and everything looks absolutely glorious. But we are CPU limited by this i7 5th gen, clearly. Because if you do this, if you change the settings, you put DLSS onto ultra performance, that should make it run way better, but it doesn't actually make a difference at all. In fact, it makes you get run over. So you can get run over in glorious DLSS ray tracing. But yeah, it just makes it look shit. It doesn't make a difference at all to the frame rate. This is right in the middle of Night City. It's the worst, probably one of the worst places for performance. So yeah, just leave that on quality. If you turn ray tracing off though, I've just knocked up screen satisfactions, then you do get about 60, and when you're not recording, sorry, you are over 60, which is great. Obviously I can't demo that, but yeah, this is one of the worst bits, so let's create some action. A few drops in the voice, but we're over 50, near 60. With G-Sync it's smooth as butter. Let's knife this guy up. Yeah. See, it was over 70 while you're knifing him. It seems to ignore that. But yeah, driving is normally the worst. Certainly worse on console. You get a few streaming issues because hashtag Cyberpunk. This is running off an SSD. But yeah, once the streaming issue, if you ignore the streaming issues, it's 60 and over when you're not recording. But yeah, look, that CPU is just, it's always around 90, which effectively is bottlenecked. 95, grief. Yeah, it could really do with the extra resources from not having to record. I love this little car, look at it, it's so cool. How rude. So what I would recommend is leave ray tracing on, because why would you buy a 3070 if you're not going to have that? Screen satisfactions on low, and to be honest, if you want to be perfectly above 60 constantly, just knock it down to 1080p. We're still running at 1440p here. It's just such a glorious looking game. Okay, some esports titles. Got Apex Legends, 1440p. That's everything. As I said before, this includes being recorded. No ray tracing here because it's not on this game, but we've got Nvidia Reflex, which is really nice. Yeah, so native 1440p, high details, not ultra high because that's pointless. I'd actually knock down some of the details personally, in certain ways, because you don't want people hiding in shadows and shit like that, do you? Oh, I probably should have cut all this out, but who cares? See some nice high character models. As you can see, it's locked into my monitor, 165 FPS. The monitor's 165 Hertz. MSI one.
Okay, I do lie, but not this time. All right, so I did my hair for this. There's nothing wrong with looking good in the ring, and I look good.
This game's really improved recently, actually, quite a lot. Been adding a lot of good content to it.
Introducing your champion.
I'm sure you already care. This runs at 165 FPS on the menu. So this is always the stress point on Battle Royale games.
Let's make a choice. Lame, forget that.
I love it when people do that.
This might be a good place to land.
So just to show native 1440p.
All right, hope you're ready. Let's do this, brothers.
So again, the point in this video isn't to say, oh, this card's not being held back, or this card is being held back. It's, can you play, can you take your existing rig to put in a really good card and have a much improved experience? Well, good start. But yeah, straight away into actual gameplay, and we are well over 120 FPS. At times we're right up there to 160. So averaging around 150, 140. CPU is high, 80%. But again, it would be lower if I wasn't recording. I think that's the difference is between a new, like a 6-core and an 8-core, and this is you'd be able to stream and stuff and not have any hiccups on these higher ends. Oh, here we go. Kill the little dragon thing. Oh, we've got people. One down. Nice. Again, we're in a battle. We've got so well over 140, 160. Shit. Not got any ammo. There we go. Knocked down. Yeah. Get the bars. Oh shit. Oh well. 150. 120 to 150. That's pretty darn good at native 1440p while recording. The CPU usage is all over the place though. Let's just watch this for it. Get a bit more gameplay. Yeah, more than a improvement. I prefer. I was probably getting about 80 or 90 FPS, so that's a big improvement. As you'd expect. Quite a lot of action here, and yeah, it's holding up really well. Even if I'm not playing. The particle effects. Still 150 off. Come on, teammate. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. No. Jason. Is anyone there? Oh no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh no. Oh, a couple of kills. But yeah, a couple of kills and a good frame rate. Okay, Overwatch. 1440p. Ultra settings, which I wouldn't play on again, except for dynamic reflections, which you put on low because they just kill the FPS and do fuck all. So top tip there, in case you didn't know. Oh, let's see these loot boxes and shit, obviously. This has nothing to do with the FPS, I just want to see. Oh my god, got a gold. Coins. That's one. Shit. That's pointless. Quick play, tank, or support. You can only be tank or support on this game now. Unless you want to wait half your life for one game. Still waiting. Yeah, so I expect this to be in the 200s FPS wise. Again, don't run it on ultra because it's pointless. It looks the same. You might as well just run it on high. Then it looks pretty, and you'll get more FPS. But so go with a bit of rain. And it's gonna stop the video here because
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
we're in the game. Ryan again. I love it when it does that little glitch. You see, it's going like 175. I need to take off the limiter, I believe. So let's skip ahead to that. So yeah, on options, video, advanced. Oh, limit FPS. We want that on 400. There we go. So now we're getting 250. Which, if that's not a smooth experience, I don't know. So yeah, realistically, you could have a 1440p 240Hz monitor. If you have one of those, if they exist. I'm not sure if they do, unless you pay like 800 quid or something. But certainly this one, 1440p 165Hz, all day long, you're above that. Even on stupid ultra. So, or just drop below 200 to prove it. Oh, what the hell am my team doing? Oh, let's charge in and get some. Let's get the action up. See if we can drop the FPS. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, I'm gonna die. Sorry, Moira. Oh, Moira's keeping us alive. And oh, one drop below 200. There's a lot of effects going on. It's still staying well above the 165, so. Not there.
I'm not checking in.
There is still more to my tale.
I mean, all this bit of Anubis, it's all well over 200. Let's get rushing in. Oh no, bad idea. I would quit now, but let's just see the this point is a lot more focused, so everyone will be in one spot and there'll be lots of different effects. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a drop here. If you want to call it a drop, you drop into 180. Again, if this, well, A, we're recording, and B, if that was on high and not ultra, then you're well over 200 constantly.
This is not over.
I think the pros only have on like medium actually. Or just some stuff on low. But yeah, look, hectic choke point. Road Company. Obviously with this it's 1440p and high settings. Get the cheesy little intro. Nice little stutter. That's something to do with the game. Clearly not stressing the CPU or the GPU.
Watch and learn. I'll show you how
What's
it's
good,
done.
bro?
Alright, let's see a bit of action.
My favorite.
This game isn't difficult
What's
to run.
good, bro?
Approaching drop zone.
It does look good, it's got a really good aesthetic to it. a really fun game as well.
Bomb spotted.
That kills on me, pro bono.
Enemy spotted.
So yeah, it's well over 140 FPS, basically constantly when you're actually in game. It does have these weird drops though, and they're nothing to do with the CPU or GPU. It's probably just network code. Just slice them up. Oh, bugger. Because it really should be locked all the way, but I don't know, maybe you need 6 cores to not have those little stutters. The CPU's nowhere near max, so it should be fine.
Enemy spotted. Hey, give me up. OG down.
Oh, this is not my best showing.
They'll love this.
Oh, I didn't even pick him up, brilliant. Still not used to the guns on this one.
Get on it while it's hot.
45 seconds to go. Get to it.
Basically serious, this runs really, really nicely.
Thanks.
Actually a bit scared. Oh, can I get this? Let's get this guy. What the fuck's going on with this gun?
Lethal out. Lethal out.
Let's all just jump behind a barrier. Oh, for God's sake.
Bombs down.
Let's try a different part of the map.
I can't be stopped. I'm a locomotive.
Let's get around the back. Oh. Yes!
Appreciate you, bro.
That kept the FPS up.
Enemies have the objective. Bomb dropped.
Oh, for God's sake. So now it seems to have stabilised. It's yeah, really weird.
Enemy spotted.
I like my play. So yeah, everything's on Ultra. Let's just put them on high.
Enemies have the objective.
I don't normally do Ultra, like I said many times.
2 seconds left. Now or never.
Doesn't seem to make that much difference though. It's maybe a little bit more locked to 144, maybe not. I still think it's down to the code. Ah, perhaps a little bit higher.
Bombs down.
We'll just see if going from this way if it changes.
This will make a statement.
If you've not played this, it's free. Definitely worth a download.
Bomb spotted.
On the Xbox, you can play with Series S and X. You can play at 120 FPS mode, and this certainly looks a lot better than the 100 FPS mode. Alright, here we go. Oh god. Just let it bleed out. Oh dear.
They'll love this.
Oh, they're behind us.
Enemies behind us. Bombs down.
Yeah, so this is sticking over 140 constantly,
Enemies have the objective.
which is great.
Get me up.
That's what you want on a game like this, esports title. So yeah, you can happily have a 1440p high refresh monitor knowing that you can just stick in a solid graphics card with an average CPU.
Lethal out.
If you can find one at a reasonable price, obviously. Which luckily I did.
Enemy spotted.
Enemies have the objective.
Yeah, so that's running really, really nicely now. Oh.
Lethal out.
Today only. Revenge killing half off.
Oh, I'm not doing very well today.
Bomb dropped.
No, I'm just gonna die.
I have the bomb.
It's gonna leave me.
Yo. Hey, enemy spotted.
Actually getting rezzed.
I'm good.
if we die instantly, but... Yep. Shot in the back. Yeah, so on high, and remember I'm recording now, but on high we're over 140 constantly. Onto Rocket League. Again, it's not a difficult one, so all I turn off here is motion blur because you don't need it. Got FPS max at 250. What's going on with my pad? Something very odd is going on. There we go, just use the mouse. There we go, straight in the game. I expect this to be 200 plus. I normally stick it to 165 with my monitor. Everyone's joining. There we go. Oh, yes, demolition straight away. Have that in 230 FPS. So this is a game that on the consoles, to play it in high frame rate, it looks pretty bad. Oh, for God's sake. This kind of team. Yeah, so on the Series S, currently the 120 FPS mode runs at like 720p, and on the Series X it only runs at 1080p. And it just, yeah, it just doesn't look great. Because they lower some settings as well for some reason. Whereas this is max everything, and you're 240. Yeah, there we go. Bring it all that level. Yeah, we're 240, well over 200 all the time. So that's a nice upgrade. If you think a 3070 Founders Edition, if you can find one, or even a 3060 Ti would do it. It's like 100 quid less than a Xbox Series X or a PS5, and you're getting much better performance. Even with an old CPU like this, if you had like a Ryzen 5 3600, you're going to get way better. Never mind like a 8-core, oh for fuck's sake. Even never mind like an 8-core chip. i7, i9, something like that. So yeah. Oh, I hate this game. I thought I'd really like it, but it's just horrible. So this is Resident Evil 3. Again, native 1440p. Whack everything up to high. Again, like I say, I don't use ultra high, just because it is pointless. I don't see the point in sacrificing 10-15% FPS for virtually no difference in quality, unless you're pixel peeping. This has a really weird settings menu, as you can see. But yeah, I've got everything on. Everything is on high, native res. It should run well. Runs to 60 FPS on the PS4, so I would have thought it should be fine. But it looks great. I just hate it. This is just a load from the beginning. Bloody Nemesis, he just comes out of nowhere. It's really annoying. So yeah, as you can see, it looks absolutely brilliant. Gun. So let's get outside. So well over 150. A lot of the time it's right near that 165 again. I don't you look lovely. Oh fuck off, not him again. This is what I mean, he just comes from nowhere. And I'm dead. Let's try again. Probably need more footage than that. Get down the subway. It's safe down the subway. Yeah, I got this free with a old graphics card, and I thought it'd be really good. 'Cause I really like Resident Evil 2, but this is just it's not fun at all. I got more memories from Resident Evil 2 on the PS1. This one I didn't really play. It's got some gorgeous textures, and the people look fantastic. The character models. Yeah, I mean, all around here, look, it's locked at 165. CPU's only at like 50%. Probably because it's tuned for those terrible Jaguar CPUs on the Xbox and the PS4. So shoved it all onto the GPU. Let's load a different one, because clearly I'm stuck. I think this is an older save, so it's a bit more out in the open. Hopefully we won't get killed instantly. A lot of zombies. But yeah, 150. Oh, god damn it. So yeah, here in this game it's not, oh fuck's sake. In this game it's not, the processor's not being an issue. Oh good grief. I can't remember what the controls are. Let's just stab him and die and get on to something else. You can see it looks good, it works well. Nah, you can't kill me now. Stabby stab 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 at 150 FPS. No, that's not fair. Come on. You cruel little shit. Alright, sod that. Okay, next to Remedy's Control. I absolutely love this game. Unfortunately, this is the Game Pass version, and as I played this on Xbox and completed it, I don't have a save game on this. Also, the Game Pass version on PC is only the one with DLSS 1.9 and not 2.0, which makes a huge difference.
Can't be helped.
But yeah, this is 1440p, ray tracing on.
There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe.
So the DLSS on this version is nowhere near as good as on the normal PC version.
Something crawls out from behind the poster.
Not by a long
and the
shot.
ones that see it happen freak out.
But
and try to forget what they saw.
It still looks great, as you can see.
I'm here.
So yeah, look, the GPU is like maxed at 99%.
Why did you bring me here?
Because this is no DLSS.
Hello?
And this is a killer
Anyone
because
here?
it uses everything. Shadows, reflections, all sorts. I mean, it looks incredible, as you can see. But it's struggling at around 45 to 50. Now if I just go in the options and put DLSS on, all of a sudden we're at like high 80s, early 90s even, and it doesn't look any different, certainly not on my screen. But if you've got the normal version, or the, you know, the Steam version or GOG, then it has the full DLSS 2.0, which is even better, and even better performance. But you can see it just looks incredible. Like,
Hey,
so you're effectively getting running this at 1440p with yeah, it's RT.
Here about the job.
There you
Janitor's
are.
assistant. You go that
Oh, I
way,
love this
you go
guy.
that way.
He's so cool.
elevator that
You're
way.
getting better than
Got it.
PS5,
Very
Xbox
good.
Series X
I'm
quality,
the janitor.
because they only have the ray
You
tracing
work for me.
at 30
Can
FPS
say I said.
and 1440p.
If they don't hire you, they you're no helvet. There be work for
So even
the
without
axe.
DLSS, you're getting more than
Take
that, but
them
with
behind the
DLSS, you're getting
sun.
well over 60
I've
So you can
done
lock it
enough
to
night
60
shift loader
quite
jobs to know
nicely.
it makes us come off
with
weird.
ray tracing.
Artie the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it.
Ah, good old Artie.
The cell and the poster.
So I'll just show you some action.
I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since.
If you haven't played this game, you really should. It's
Will you
absolutely
help?
brilliant. I'll skip the cutscenes, obviously. Skip.
Did I lose you there?
Really
for
is a
moment?
graphical showcase, this
You
game.
know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him. Shit. Shit. You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon?
This is where you'll find out about the, who you are.
Look at this place.
It's really weird. If you like
Where am I?
Stranger Things and stuff like that, you might really like this game. But yeah, this bit is just, you know, it's running fantastically. 130. These are kind of like the training missions if you've not played this before.
The same though. Okay. Now I have a gun.
Get shooty. And again, obviously, if you don't want ray tracing and all that, you can turn it off and it runs even better. But it's a bit of a waste if you don't have it on, to be honest, on this game. And like I say, if you've got the Steam version, then you'd be really impressed with the DLSS. Once again, this is recording while I'm playing, so it's taxing the CPU. Although it is only sitting at about 50% at the moment, but... yeah, really good game.
It's the dead man. Right after the...
I'll just show you a bit of action in the real world.
Things have quieted down outside. That's it to go.
Things have quieted down, so
You can't let this happen.
no, they haven't.
You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen.
I don't really get why they put the real actor in this. It seemed a bit odd. Just for one or two scenes.
You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
There we go. Load. There we go. What's great about this is the destruction. I'm not gonna let that pass away. Yeah, just this is why it's so taxing on everything. Because you can really just destroy shit. It's such a stylish game. So yeah, here we go. We've got some action and lots of destruction here. 68. It's never dropping below 60 though. Blabbo. Just destruction everywhere. It's awesome. Yeah. So just turn DLSS. See the difference. We're back in like the early 40s. And it doesn't look any different, so yeah, DLSS. Magic. Okay, Monster Hunter World, got everything on high. 1440p, DLSS is on. Let's go on an adventure with my cool little cat. So my footage broke, so I had to record it again, hence the crappy detail. I had to use Streamlabs here, whereas before I was using the built-in Nvidia recorder, and it's definitely taken a hit, not just because of the quality but the FPS as well. When I was using the Nvidia one, it was more around the high 80s to the early hundreds. Whereas with this, I'm at a lower quality and I'm struggling to hit 90. Whereas it's definitely a very CPU intensive thing. But again, that's one of the things that we're trying to show here is CPU holding it back. I wouldn't say it's holding it back gameplay wise at all, because when you're not streaming, this is 100 FPS. And clearly when you are streaming, it's well over 60. So, you know, happy days. And this is 1440p with DLSS. So again, if you're just running at a 1080p monitor, then you're going to be well over 100. Because the CPU is only running at about 75%. Yeah, it looks great. So I think that's enough of killing innocent monsters that just want to protect their kitty-wits for one day. Yeah, well over 100. Well over 100. Not well over 100 at all. Well in the region of 100 FPS. And I cut over to a different section where you can see some more different effects here, some waterworks. Also plenty of the impressive grass and foliage. Yeah, really good.
You can carve materials off of monsters. These materials are vital for producing new equipment and upgrading what you have.
So, in conclusion, can you buy a brand new graphics card and stick it in a 6-year-old rig and everything will be perfect? No, obviously not. But will it massively improve where you've come from and give you a 60 FPS experience even on high detail and high resolutions like 1440p, in some cases 1080p, definitely. So think about that. You don't have to spend £1,000 just to give you a whole new rig. It's not always needed. You can upgrade in stages. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.